Hey guys, it's Jedi Lex, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bonus episode for my podcast, Beyond Tatooine. Over the past few episodes, I've had the privilege of interviewing some phenomenal guests who have shared their love of Star Wars and their unique collections with us. In today's special video, I'm going to be bringing together the best advice from my past 10 guests to help you on your collecting journey. I hope you enjoy.
Like you just got to have a plan and just take it easy and only buy what you truly like, what speaks to you. So, like I said, use your collection, fund your collection. That's going to be my motto tonight.
I always say, do what you love what you collect, do what you love, or love what you collect what you love what you collect, whichever. Don't listen to me or anyone else. If it speaks to you, just pick it up. If there is mistakes that you have to make as a collector, make them. Because that will, it's just like life. Like if someone tells you, oh, don't do that, Lex, don't ever do this, do that. Like, how would you know you could get better as a person if you don't make those mistakes? Same with collecting. How would you know like how you want your collection to be when you don't make those mistakes? Right? I made many mistakes, but those mistakes have you know uh, carved out like how I want my collection to look like. So
Build what you love because it makes it more enjoyable, especially if you're doing it for other people. Find your niche, find and just dive in. And I didn't have anybody at all like I reached out to so many content creators on like that make Star Wars stuff or make cosplays or does 3D printing, and no one got back to me. And it was really discouraging, but I figured it all out on my own. And I always like to tell people, like, if you have questions or like anything, hit me up. I will definitely answer it out. If I know something, I'm gonna give you my honest feedback. But don't be scared to screw up. Like, everything's fixable when it comes to 3D printing. You can always sand it all back down, start over, or reprint it and start over, and just get out there and dive in. And when it comes to collecting, find the things that, take you back, because that's what I do. Like, oh man, I remember having this piece when I was a kid, or I love this character from when I was a kid. And, go after the things that you like. Don't just buy just pieces for your collection just to have. Like, make them meaningful, make them, you know put connect a memory to it. That's what I do. Like, those are the pieces that, like, oh, I remember the first time I ever saw, Yoda. uh, I have to have this Yoda. This one's a badass Yoda. And kind of go from there. I only have two Yodas in my entire collection, even though I absolutely love him. But it's like a specific piece and how it looks, and I have to have that one. I don't just buy every Yoda that has ever been made or every Darth Maul that's ever been made. I go for what can trigger that memory for me.
You got to be patient and you got to know what you're looking for. And somebody else said, like, even if you know that there's 100 of these and you just want to start somewhere, then take the 100, get a list, and take it to like 5, and just concentrate on those 5. Learn everything you can about those 5. There's some great websites out there for this stuff. Pops too. Like, if you knew they were numbered and it was the first 5 from 2017 or something, just concentrate on those first 5. Do your homework, know what you're looking for, because the packaging could be different, the paint could be different, and you could totally be buying the wrong thing. And I had that happen a couple of times, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And it cost me a little bit in the long run. Thank God it was at the beginning, because if that would have happened to me now, it would have been a disaster. But patience for sure.
So we've kind of talked about it. I think I've touched on most points, but I'll kind of wrap it all in a big bow for you. First of all, stay true to yourself. Stay in your lane. What do you like to collect? And stick with that. One thing, especially in YouTube, that a lot of people do is they will get out of their lane and they'll start collecting a lot of stuff to get views, to get likes, to get subs. Don't do that. Stay true to yourself, and the people that are interested in you and your content will watch. I don't expect to have a lot of Marvel or DC people watching my content because I don't have Marvel and DC, and I don't do that. So, first thing would be stay true to yourself. Second, budget. My gosh, budget. This is so addicting. You know, once you get going, if you're a new collector, you can get in deep really fast. And once you get in deep, good luck getting out, because we don't collect this stuff to resell and to make money, because that's not going to happen. You Once you buy something and you try to resell it, you're lucky if you get half of what you paid for it. So really get yourself a budget, narrow that down, say, okay, I'm going to spend $100 a week on toys, collectibles, whatever it is, and stick to it. Because if you don't, you're going to get yourself in a really bad way, and you're going to be sitting here looking at this and have to eat ramen for dinner every single night. Nobody wants to do that. So that would be the number 2 piece of advice. Number 3, this kind of goes with budget, but don't go above your means. If you have a space, stick with that space. Don't continue to expand, because when you continue to expand your space, that gives in your mind a trigger that says, okay, I can buy more now. I can fill up this space. I have all this space. I need to trigger it. So give yourself a space to where it's like, this is where I need to stay and I need to be. And then the last one would be the FOMO. Don't worry about missing out. This is not about who gets the most, who has the most impressive collection. It's about what you like and what you enjoy. But remember, this is just collecting. It's a small part of life. There's so many more things in life that are more important than this. Don't let it run you. Don't become obsessive, because it's like smoking. It's like drinking. It can be a huge addiction to where all the things around you are now not as important as your collection. So really focus on that, really be mindful of what you're doing, what you're buying, how you're spending your money, how you're spending your time with this stuff. And I have the same exact things for anybody on YouTube. Be careful. I've had to take, Lex, I don't know if you have to, but I've had to take numerous breaks from YouTube due to the amount of addictiveness and obsessiveness that it takes. So just be careful, guys. Be careful and set rules for yourself. That's really the number one thing.
It sounds very simplistic, but I would say, collect what makes you happy. If it's not bringing you joy anymore, then, there's plenty of other hobbies to have. There's plenty of things to do outside of collecting. But collecting is, I think we collect, at least I collect because, I'm inspired by some of these films, some of these TV shows, and there's a lot of nostalgia is a big part of it. Like the real Ghostbusters or the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I go back and watch those now, and I'm like, they're not that great. But at the time, it was about having the world building of the toys. So it's kind of a balance between the two. But if it's not making you happy, if it's something that, it just doesn't spark joy or creativity or imagination, then, don't collect it. Just collect what makes you happy, something you can look to your shelf and see, and, gives you a smile, makes you feel good. But also, I would say collect within your means, because, it's easy to go overboard. I think, budgeting is important. Managing your space is important, because you don't want your house to be overtaken by toys and stuff. Especially if you share your home with other folks that may not have the same, passion that you have. But, make sure you're having fun, because this isn't, there's far more, there's very important things in the world that are genuinely important and critical and necessary and essential. But toys, collecting is a hobby. It's something we do because it makes us feel happy, right? So if it's not making you feel happy, do something else. But, definitely collect those things that give you joy.
Well, I guess I will address it to people who want to collect books, read books. Well, utilize your library for sure. I mean, that doesn't really help if you're wanting to collect things, but I would be remiss if I didn't say, like, utilize your local library to read Star Wars books. Use Libby, for audiobooks. I do that all the time, even though I have the physical book on my shelf. And to try to, if you want to collect books and you are not as much of a stickler for like the condition. And I mean like condition as in it's still readable, it's fine, it's not like it's dirty or anything like that. I have so many Star Wars books that are like ex library. I got them through thrift books, like because I wanted a specific like copy of them. Especially like there's a lot of Star Wars books that are no longer like in print and hardcover. And we're talking about like the expanded universe books, the legends books. Those books now, if you go to buy them, they're going to be either in the Essential Legends paperback, or they're going to be in like the mass market paperback. Not a lot of people like the mass market paperback format. I'm not a big fan of it, even though I do have ones up there. But if you're wanting like to be a collector of like, okay, I want this series and I want it in this particular format, utilize places like thrift books and, you know, eBay kind of. I've had a lot of luck finding stuff on thrift books as well. Read the books too. um, and, you know, I feel like there's this idea that like as readers and just beyond Star Wars books, like in general, is because of social media. You know, we have Book Talk and Bookstagram, is that you have to have like these elaborate shelves full of books, like overflowing. You have to have like all of these, you know, special editions and things like that. And like, if you want to do that, that's fine. But I think it really helps if you're a little more selective and you're like, okay, I want to read this book, but I also really want like to collect it. Like I want a you know, series, certain format, you know, pace yourself. And just because you don't have, you know, even like my shelves, I've seen other people's shelves, they have even more Star Wars books than I do, and they're like beautifully organized and everything. That doesn't mean that you're less of a fan or that you're less of a reader. If you just, you know, get Star Wars books from your library on audio or like your Kindle, like maybe you could not own one Star Wars book at all or one book of any series, and you could still be a fan, still be a reader. So you don't have to like collect everything. This is just my, you know, my passion, my hobby. So
have fun with it. I mean, if you lose that, there's no point in doing it. And it can get it's a financial burden, so that could put stress on it. So with that, don't do anything stupid. Take your time doing it. Think. If there's something you want, you can eventually get it. Even if that means you have to pay a little more for it, wait till where you can actually get it and it doesn't stress you out or you don't feel like you made a bad decision. And then don't get caught up in like pre-order windows, that things get sold out, things like that. Like, don't get caught up in anything that drives stress to the situation. Because I would probably speak for a lot of us saying that we do this because it's a non-stressing thing that makes us just get away from the real things in life and just allows us just to just relax and just take a breath, you know? So just do not let it get stressful. So keep it fun.
Don't do it. No, seriously. Absolutely. Collect what you love. First of all, collect what you love. Don't listen to anybody where they would tell you, oh, you got to have this, or you should get that, or you got that, you're stupid. No, collect what you love, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a little tiny Hot Wheel car, Matchbox car, up to, you know, a full-size replica DeLorean or something like that. Whatever it is, collect what you love, because it's got to make you feel good here, right? That's the most important thing, because it's all about the love that you have for things or a movie or whatever it is that you're collecting, but you want it to make you feel good here. That's why you do it, right? And don't let yourself talk you out of certain things. I mean, don't be foolish. Don't be stupid. But if you really want something, you know you can figure out a way to get it. Just don't be dumb. Just be a little dumb as far as, you know, okay, I stretched myself a little bit, but I really wanted to have it. Do it. Make yourself happy. Don't just constantly, okay, I'm trying to, you know, make sure I've got this much money saved aside and this little thing and that thing. You're saving for a day that may not come. You know, life is short. You don't know what's going to happen. Be happy now. Live in the present. You know, look forward to the future, that kind of a thing. So that's one. And also, too, space is going to be a problem. It always is. Don't feel that you have to buy everything. You may reserve and be like, I'm only going to buy really high-end stuff, and that's what I want. And it's once every couple years. It could be, I love collecting little things, and I get 3 or 4 a week. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Do you. Do what makes you happy. That's the biggest one.
I think what I would do is try as much as you can to future-proof your collection, meaning future-proof it by meaning like ways that you're going to display things. Like try to think in advance of ways you're going to think about things and how you're going to display, because it's hard. Like when you buy a piece of furniture and you use it for that one thing, and then that one thing leaves your collection, then you're like, crap, I have to replace that piece of furniture. I've done that 3 times now. I think I'm on my last phase of that, but like try to think about and run it through some 3D programs, even like, lay it all out, even if you got to do little pieces of paper, right? Lay it all out on try and grid yourself out in your collection and try to future proof.
Thank you so much for watching this bonus episode of Beyond Tatooine. I hope you guys found the advice from our guests as inspiring and as helpful as I did. And also, don't forget to watch the full episodes of Beyond Tatooine to hear even more great stories and insights from our phenomenal guests. And as always, guys, thank you for watching my videos. I'll see you next time.